Episode 20, The Haunted Amp Special Appearance by Greg Graffin of Bad Religion. The power of sound. Punk rock lives in every power chord, every distortion pedal, every deafening blast from an amp cranked past its limit. But sometimes the music doesn't stop just because the musician does. Sometimes the amp plays you. Tonight, the Ramones plug into an amp with a past, and once the feedback starts, there's no turning it down. Some amps have killer sound, this one just might kill the band. Scene 1. A pawn shop. Find the Ramones are in a cluttered pawn shop filled with old guitars, tattered posters, and busted drum kits. Greg Graffin browses through a stack of vinyl records, raising an eyebrow as DD and CJ inspect an ancient, dust-covered amplifier that hums faintly on its own. Joey Ramone, this thing looks vintage as heck. This is perfect for the next gig. DD says here it belonged to some lost rock legend, played his last gig and was never seen again. Greg Graffin, that's not just any legend. That's Eddie Stryker's amp. The guy played one final note, the amp let out some kind of horrific feedback, and bam, he vanished. CJ Ramone, sounds like punk rock mythology to me. Let's buy it. As they leave, the shop owner watches them with a knowing smirk. The amp hums again, a faint whisper echoing from its speakers. Scene 2, the possessed performance. The Ramones are playing a packed underground show. The amp is center stage, glowing faintly. As soon as Joey sings the first note, the amp lets out a deafening screech. The venue lights flicker. The sound warps and suddenly, a ghostly figure emerges from the amp, Eddie Stryker himself. Eddie Stryker's ghost, you will finish my song. The crowd gasps as the band struggles against the overwhelming feedback. Joey stumbles back, gripping the mic. Joey Ramone, we got a serious technical issue here. DD, it's still on. Greg Graffin. The only way to beat it is to finish the song. The band joins in, following Greg's lead. The song builds into a massive crescendo. Eddie's ghost lets out a final scream before vanishing in a burst of static. The amp falls silent. The crowd erupts into cheers, unaware of how close they came to being trapped in the music forever. Scene 3, Aftermath. Backstage, the Ramones catch their breath. Greg Graffin wipes his forehead and shakes his head. Greg Graffin, well, that was easily the weirdest jam session I've ever been a part of. CJ Ramone, yeah, let's never do that again. Joey shoves the amp into a locked storage crate. As they turn to leave, the amp lets out a final, faint hum. The screen glitches and a single ghostly note plays. Well, looks like the Ramones rocked a Ghost's final encore. But remember, my little rebels, some amplifiers don't just amplify sound. They amplify what's left behind. Next time you plug in, just make sure someone else isn't still listening. Some amps crank up to 11, this one cranks up to the afterlife.